Well, that is quite a nice large forest. It would be a shame if someone cut it down. But that's what we're doing today. So, well, might as well do that now. Well, welcome back to another episode of the Survival World. I believe this is episode 53. So, that's pretty big. Lots of episodes. Three more than the 50th episode. That's obviously. But I'm having to re-record this intro because apparently something was up with the audio, but only for the intro. And it was like desynced, so it just sounded really weird. And it was not good. So I'm re-recording it, but I am having to do it inside the museum instead of out where we're working today because I don't really want to do spoilers, even though I did already put all the spoilers in the thumbnail for the video, so there's not really a point, but you know. Um, but anyways, my plan today, other than the forest that I took down, which is for later down the road, um, I am going to be rebuilding the pub tavern kind of building, which is the only building I have in the city, really. Um, because I was just never happy with how blocky it was and how the roof looked, so I've completely redone it, and I am a lot happier with it than the original one, but it's definitely crossed some sort of line into like medieval fantasy, and you'll see what I mean when you see the finished product. It's definitely not the same style as the museum here. And it was like kind of medieval fantasy was the original style I was trying to go for with my starter house and my little farm windmill, but I think it's kind of odd. It doesn't really entirely fit with my museum, but I don't think it's the end of the world because I mean if you go to any city really, there's going to be plenty of buildings that don't exactly match. There's, European cities have architecture still that's hundreds of years old that's been upkept. And even American cities, though they're much less old and like culturally layered, there are still a bunch of different architecture styles that have been built upon throughout the 20th century and into the 21st century. So any city you go to, you'll find a lot of different kinds of buildings. And so I think because I'm planning to have this upper area as a sort of downtownish kind of part of the city, even though it's up uh, in altitude, um, I think it will actually honestly maybe be a little more realistic to have a bunch of slightly different buildings throughout the city. So yeah, I think it's not the end of the world that they don't match exactly, and overall, I'm pretty happy with the result. So, yeah, hope you enjoy. I have to say, it's a little weird seeing this whole area be clear again, but this is good. This gives me room to kind of plan things out a little differently. Um, see, I really think there's just too much tough, right? And I am not quite sure how to get around that. It'll probably look better with some more buildings in, um, but I don't think I want to have um the road be one block down because I don't know. It's just kind of annoying to have it like that, and I think it would maybe work better if I just had the road be flush with the rest of the platform. I just have to come up with maybe a different block to make the road out of. But at the moment, I really just want to get this building moved. So I think I'm still gonna keep it themed like a bar of some sorts. And it can really be sort of like the welcoming into the main part of the town. You come up these stairs, and then there's like a tavern right here, and you can stay the night and get a drink, or whatever you want to do. Um, so I do want to keep it close to the stairs here, and I'm thinking I maybe will tuck it back into this little corner. Um, and that could be good. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of plan things out real quick, and then I'm gonna get to building again. Building back up. Not exactly what I just tore down, but same sort of building. Well, I have not done this before because I don't think I've actually had a plan for what I want to go in my building before, but I have an entire floor plan here, not just the general shape, but I have what's gonna be going on inside of here, all planned out as well. So, right, this is a tavern, of course. So, as you walk in, right, first thing you see in the city, and it's kind of, I tried to line it up almost directly with the stairs here. It's not perfect, because, The handrails from that staircase are kind of blocking, but pretty much directly lined up, with nothing in the way. And then you come in, and it's going to be this huge, like, kind of, obviously, like, social area, and so there's going to be tables and a bar over here, um, like, in this section, going across here, probably. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with this space, because I probably won't need this whole section. But this is going to go into a staircase upstairs. So you come back here once you've, you know, like, come into a room. And, like, this can be used by, let's say, travelers and residents of the city. They can come in and get a drink, whereas anyone who's traveling or coming by can also get a drink or food, and then they can also stay in one of the rooms that's going to be on the upper floors. And then I'm guessing I'm probably going to make this like a little back storage area where maybe room keys are as well. There's going to be a little firewood, like, uh, like, uh, not hut, but I wanted to add a little outside area here, with some firewood, because I do want to have a fireplace somewhere down here. And then I'm gonna, like, continue it up as a chimney. And then, once you go up the stairs, it'll just be rooms and stuff like that. So, that's the plan. And I'm excited to actually be doing some building outside of the museum. I, for a while, was like, okay, well, I'm not really sure where I'm gonna start once I finally am done with the museum, but, I'm seeing this layout, I'm kind of excited to get to work. One thing I'm not sure about is, so I wanted to really frame the front entrance, so I'm gonna have log pillars, because I am kind of addicted to making my pillars out of stripped logs, but these are gonna probably be dark oak or spruce pillars. And then the rest of the pillars are also going to be wood, but I didn't know if I should put them outside like this or flush with the wall. I'm not really sure. So I'll have to think about that. I mean, I think it could be really cool to do what I was trying to do with the first iteration of this house. If you don't remember, I was trying to go for, like, the really basic medieval style with the white walls and, dark wood supports. And then, if you go to an older town, I mean, you're not going to see this anywhere in the U.S., because it's a relatively newer country. But, if you go to any older European town, pretty much, you can see, that older houses will actually kind of expand outwards as they go up. And it's kind of present in some buildings. I know I've been to Chicago, and there are some buildings that actually, do the same sort of thing, but they are obviously not made out of wood, because they're more modern. But, it was kind of interesting to see a newer building doing that in Chicago. It was, I think it was like, to avoid taxation of the lower parts, but also, like, get more space for the building, I think. I could be wrong on that, and I'm probably not explaining it well, but yeah, that's kind of what I want to go for. And it could be cool to have those sticking out, adding another layer of depth, and then as you go up, you see, the building kind of expand out, and then those can act as, like, main supports or something like that. And then maybe I could bring out a few other logs that could be, like, the big supports as well. So, yeah. I am going to work on getting what blocks I want in here, and it should be good. Oh. All right. I am actually pretty happy with this calcite dark oak combo here. I think I cycled through a lot of different whitish blocks, but calcite just felt the best to me. And I do have quite a bit of it at the moment. I think if I do continue to make houses out of calcite, or just buildings in general, because this isn't really a house, but if I do continue making other buildings out of calcite, I'm gonna need to go and get more, but I can also just switch out between blocks as well. So, um, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I wanted to use spruce because I have a lot of spruce, but I just didn't like the stripped version as much, and I think the non-stripped is almost the same color as just stripped dark oak, so I just went with stripped dark oak because I mean it's probably my favorite log block, stripped dark oak wood, out of anything. Um, I don't really know why I'm coming over here. I just kind of wanted to look at yeah, I have quite a bit of wood, so this is probably where I'm going to be getting most of my dark oak for this build from. And this is all these shulkers are from when I cleared out the dark oak forest over there a long time ago. And then this is from the time lapse at the beginning of the episode. And this was also recent, but I didn't do it on camera. I did it right after the time lapse and just I cleaned up some of the dark oak at the back of the museum because it was I cleaned up like what I had covered when I extended the platform. Yeah, so I have a lot of dark oak and a lot of spruce, but I am going to raise these walls up until we have a pretty good looking solid first floor exterior, and we should be good. I'll see what the second layer is gonna look like. I wanted to do 3 floors, but that might be too tall. I kind of wanted you to like just kind of see the roof and then you're able to see past it. But I feel like if we do 3 stories, that may go like way too high. We'll see how high it is on the second floor, I suppose. But I don't really want to block the view too much from this walkway here because I think it'll be cool to have a view of like the whole city. So I will keep that in mind. But I am gonna raise these walls up first. Alright. The roof, well, not the roof. It's getting late for me, I'm mixing things up. Ugh. The first floor, exterior, at the very least, is done. Now, I am not sure how I feel about this. It looks too blocky. Now, we are in a block game, but I don't know. It doesn't, I mean, I don't have arches in, but something about it just doesn't feel right. Um, I'm not sure why, but maybe if I decorate it, it'll look a little better. One thing I have noticed is that we are very close to the edge on this side. Um, so I actually might just do this. Maybe. Like that. Oh, cool, cool. So, this side is definitely going to not go up to the second floor. So this little chunk that comes out here, this will just be a first floor kind of thing. And then this will all go up a floor. And hopefully this will not interfere with whatever is going on here too much. It's that, or I move the entire structure back 1 block. Or really, 2 would be good. 2 would probably be better, but I don't want to move it at all. So, I'm gonna if the roof touches it, it's probably not the end of the world. So, yeah. I am considering doing a different white for the second floor. The more calcite there is, the less it's like the block is like dessert. You know, if you have too much of it, well, then you never want it, and it's horrible and gross. But in moderation, calcite can be very good. I think maybe I'll feel different about things when I put arches in each of the corners here and decorate the exterior a little bit, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So right now, I actually want to get some of this interior done, and I was thinking about actually doing strict logs. And this, we're not like decorating the interior yet, but I just want to get the structure of it in. And so hopefully that will provide an idea of what things are going to look like in here. And it'll also help with getting the second floor in, because I'll know where all these support beams are. Honestly, I might just put a bunch in the corners. Maybe. I'm not sure about that. I'll just raise up these ones for now. And I'm considering it could take away a lot of the space that we have in here, but I'm considering doing like more granite brick kind of interior. It's all in the shoulder boxes in here. I forgot. I'm considering using granite along with the spruce. No. Okay. Good. I'm glad I didn't like that because I have done basically the exact same thing in the storage room, and I don't really want to repeat it. But I honestly, I don't like it here much, just because I mean, I think when it's level with the logs, it doesn't look good at all, really. I think any wall where you have the logs level with the rest of the blocks just doesn't look that great for me. I don't know. That could be weird. That's just my preference, I guess. I want a log here. 5. And then we're gonna have something there. I don't know. I feel like I don't want it to be only calcite. But at the same time, I don't want to reuse granite again. I'm not sure. It's kind of a trust the process thing at the moment. Okay. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Do I have spruce stairs already? If I already, like, with dark oak and spruce at this point, if I already have... Oh yeah, I have plenty. if I already have it, I don't want to make more because I just dark oak and spruce of every variety is just overflowing in my storage. So I may actually cover up these because it doesn't make sense to have support beams in this tiny little hallway. And I may put the one I just removed there back in just because I may, depending on how far the staircase goes, because I don't think it'll have to go all the way over to that beam. I don't know why I just got a lag spike. Just placing some stairs. You know, thanks, Minecraft. Okay. So, next floor is probably going to be at that level. And, okay. Well, it ends right before that. So, I don't know. I think I just cover that up, to be honest. Why not? Simpler. Right, should put a torch back here. Yeah. I don't know, I might as well just do like a full staircase. I'll see how I feel about it, I guess, when the walls are up, but I think it's better to do that than just a one wide staircase. Just it feels more deliberate this way. There doesn't need to be a little nook under every single staircase with a bunch of barrels and some lighting. So, yeah. I don't really love the middle logs. Maybe I'll change my mind. I'm not sure. Well, I'm gonna get some of these walls up, and then that'll kind of map out the interior a little better. So, yeah. Okay. So I've got all the interior walls done, and I actually did decide to raise up this top bar one more, and it still looks kind of weird. I think just because it's barren and there's no archers in yet, but I think it'll look a little better with the arches than 5 or 4 blocks tall will. I mean, however, that does make things pretty tall. So I did have to move this side back one, because honestly it was getting too close to this. However, I think that's fine, because it actually makes this line up better. And I want to kind of keep it symmetrical. So I think I can do 3, 5, and then 7 in the middle on each side. Because I had that, but it looked off because apparently over there was 4. But yeah, this should line up nicely now. And yes, it's good. Now, I left these corners open on this side because I'm going to bring this log up. Whereas on other corners, I did bring the logs all the way because I have them set up differently, obviously. Okay. I was just checking. I didn't know if I had a block of calcite behind me or not. So, I don't really mean to fly up here, but we might as well get an overhead look. That's pretty good. I want to get the ceiling in so I can start kind of feeling out the second floor. So I'm going to fill this in with spruce planks and work on the second floor as well. All right, I got a little carried away and I added some windows to this roof. Um, I think it does mix it up. I also I'm not sure how it was when I left it off because I did just end one of the flashback recordings. Um, I think it was very bare bones, so I just had the wood down as blocks, and I tried doing it as stairs, because I originally planned them to be stairs, but the shape actually works better when it's all solid blocks. And that's actually nice because it's different than roofs I usually do, which is good. And I'm pretty happy with it. Unlike that roof. um, and it actually is, it's a lot easier for me to just grab dark prismarine blocks and like not have to stone cut them into stairs, so that's nice. Um, yeah, the only part we have stairs on are these ones right here, the side windows. Um, and I want to use this room for something like maybe I could maybe put a tiny little automatic farm in this little room here. And that way it could be running pretty much every time I'm at my base. Like while I'm building stuff, while I'm mining, stuff like that, because it'll just be right here at my base. And that'll be nice. So it would be cool if I could put something in there, like maybe a bee farm, although I feel like that would fit more somewhere if I like hit it in an outside area. Um, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with my bee farm, but I do want to make a small automatic bee farm at some point, just so it can run and get honeycomb while, because I always forget to shear my beehives down on my cliff. Um, so it would be nice if it were just automatic and I didn't have to worry about it. Because at some point I may start using more candles and I'll really need wax. Or I'll start using more copper, I'm not sure. But I am building up these walls now. These are going to be each of the different rooms. Only about 3 fit here, because I don't want to put, like, you don't want to have to go through someone else's room to get to your room, right? So, this area is not going to be a room. But, I wanted to keep the rooms kind of large still. Like, I extended this area out as an overhang, which I'm gonna have to figure out some sort of way to cover up the spruce. But I extended that to give this room a little more space, because I wanted it to be like the fanciest one. You know, this is gonna be the most expensive room, and you're gonna get a huge window view. I'm gonna open up this wall, and it's gonna be a big, nice view of like, I'm probably gonna have a forest out there, eventually, and then the ocean. So, yeah. That right there is, I'm going to be mimicking this wall on the other side because it just looks weird with the gradual slope up. So I'm just gonna do tiny little walls all along here, and that will, oh, that'll set up actually what I want to do on the um it's probably not actually west. I'm facing west. So that'll set up what I want to do on the south side of the mansion over there, because I have a plan that I've talked about before, and it involves another cliff. So that'll be fun. More terraforming. Yeah. Anyways, with these walls up, I can kind of get the ceiling in, and once the ceiling is in, actually, I do want to mention I maybe want to try out bone blocks for these inside walls, just to have a little bit of a different white texture. Um, so I may switch those out, just on my own time. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to look at how bone blocks look there. But I'm going to get the ceiling in up there on the second floor, and then, kind of outline the roof as well. Well, I have got the main part of the roof in, and I'm pretty happy with the shape. Usually roofs with this, roofs that I kind of like haven't made fully symmetrical, usually I have a really hard time with. But, I did manage to get a pretty nice looking roof on the front here, and hopefully I can, do something with these to cover up these gaps here, because that is a problem. Um, yeah. But I am currently planning on just having tiny little tower bits and then a smaller roof here, and then that'll connect. And hopefully that'll look all right. But, um, there are some pretty clear problems here. If you remember, towards the start of the episode, I mentioned wanting to keep the roof right around this level, and it's clearly much higher than that now. In fact, the roof is about as high as the museum roof, uh, which I was not really anticipating, but the roof style I've decided on for the tavern here is definitely a very steep and tall roof. But honestly, it would look pretty bad with any other roof style, I think. Because if I just did like a normal staircase roof, ooh, those look horrible. Very boring. And I do not want a boring roof. So, unfortunately, our roof is going to look like this. It is very tall, but I'm happy with the shape. And I think once more buildings get put into the city, I think it'll look a lot more natural. Because right now, obviously, it looks very tall and large because it's the only thing here. But I think when there's other like houses and quote unquote businesses all around it, then it will look a little normal. Um, it is a little weird how it's maybe half the size of the museum and about as tall too. um, because if they were on the same level, instead of like starting on the ground here, this roof would probably be about halfway up on the dome here. So they're almost the same height as well, which is weird. Speaking of the dome, I still need to put that spire on top. Um, I don't know. It's really hard to do a spire with a 2 block wide center. But oh, really? Yeah. Well, um all that's left to do here is get the wooden rims on the roof and these towers in. Or it's not really, they're not going to be towers. I tried, when I lined things out with stone, I put up, 2 pretty tall towers, but I didn't like how it looked. And if I did go through with the towers, it would have been, like, above the dome. So I decided to shorten them. And I think putting them in with calcite instead of stone kind of gives me a better idea of how they'll look. I do want to make a few changes to this small roof here. I need to make this corner piece a log instead of the 2 side pieces there, so it matches this side, and I think that'll set this tower up better. And then at some point, apparently, I added an extra block of dark prismarine to this roof, so this goes down one side, and I was having a very hard time wondering why, when I was counting out how many blocks were in the roof, because I wanted the same type of shape for these roofs. Obviously, they're taller, but I was counting out the blocks to kind of see how long this roof was, and it should have been 11 blocks. So I was very confused as to why a supposedly 1 block center roof here had 12 blocks, and I kept counting over and over. And I finally noticed I added an extra block down here, so we've got this overhang, whereas on this side it's just the dark oak. And I want it to be just the dark oak on both sides, so I do need to fix that. But I'm not really I'm gonna do that on my own time, of course. I think it looks really weird, this front bit here. Hopefully it'll look better when I fill this in, but I don't know. And then I'm not really sure what to do under here. I don't love this, really. So I may try spruce trapdoors as well. Not sure. I'll work on that, though, because detailing, I have been spending so much time on this episode because I'm editing things differently, and I'm trying to, like, be a little more high quality and, like, in, like, the production quality. And now that I have Flashback, I'm trying some new things with that, you've probably noticed. And that requires a lot of editing because I have to render out all of the little flashback recordings I've made and then edit them all up, which takes a while because then I have to render those videos separately, and it's just kind of a pain to do all this while I'm also trying to like not spend all of my free time on this computer. So yeah, I'm trying to do that while also like going on some vacations as well, because obviously I live in the US, and so I celebrated 4th of July a little bit ago. As of recording this, was actually 2 days ago. But when the video's out, it'll probably be like 3 weeks ago, so I don't even know. But yeah, I'm gonna get finished up with this build here, so that hopefully I am about to go on another even longer vacation, but hopefully when I get back from that, all I have to worry about is editing up the video instead of having to finish this building, because it is nearly done. So, hopefully I can get this finished before tomorrow, and I should just have to focus on editing. Alrighty Right. I did finally get this thing done. Um, I think I got a little carried away with it. Um, I added in new windows, obviously. Um, I like it. I just feel like it's definitely crossed a line past what I was going for and more into medieval fantasy, which is what I was going for originally. I just feel like the more I built the museum, it didn't really fit that. Um, but I guess I've gone back to that with the tavern pub thing here. Um, because well, once I started adding all of these little towers into the windows, it really, I think, it got out of hand. And I also did these fancy windows, just because I felt like these sections were maybe a little too big, just for normal windows. And I kind of want to add logs up here, because it feels like there's something missing. But, that is going to be it for this episode. So, I'm honestly not sure how long it's going to end up being because I have a lot of things to edit other than just the clips where I'm speaking. Um, I'd be surprised if it were still around an hour like usual. Because I really tried to condense as much as I could into as short an amount of time as I could. Um, but I am new to what I'm doing and trying out in this episode, so I am not sure. But again, I am sorry it took so long to get this episode out. Oh, okay, cool. Misclicked the achievements. Um, I'm sorry it took so long for me to get this episode out, but like I have been saying, I've been trying new stuff, so um, it's just taken a while to get it all sorted. But hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll be back next time, and hopefully it won't take as long. Um, cause I shouldn't be away for too long, for a long while once I do actually get this video out. But I'm recording this early morning, like early morning, not when you normally wake up, like past midnight morning of July 7th. And it'll probably be late July before I actually get this out because I will be gone for a while. So, yeah. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.